It's early Saturday, July the 16th, 2016. Dan and Francis, the sun is up, and it's late, much later than you first thought when you left the forest road. Vicky, you have slowly begun to wake up during the drive. You find yourself in a big truck with a girl your age in the driver's seat. Next to you is Francis, the youth pastor. He's injured, coughing blood. And on the other side, Dan, tired, wide eyes, staring at the scenery going by outside the truck. Open grassland with forest in the distance, on both sides of this small winding road. You have clean clothes on, nice ones, but they are not your own. You grip your pendant. It's there. Then you feel it. Insect bites all over you. The itch is awful, even a bit painful. What do you do as you notice Vicky comes around?
Hey, Vicky? Vicky.
What? How are you? Where? Where's?
Hey, so, oh gosh. This might be a surprise to you, or maybe not, but I believe we're in Sweden?
I saw you fall.
Is that sort of metaphorical or something? I mean, obviously, I'm okay. So he coughs up some blood and wipes it on his shirt.
Dan, where's Dan?
Oh, Dan.
I'm right here. It's true. We're in Sweden.
How did?
I'm explaining how is not something I'm any good at these days. Vicky, just trust that we're here.
Why is it so? I can't stop. And I start really basically digging with my fingers into my skin, trying to itch. What is I can't handle this. What's going on?
Hold on. God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, truth, and of love. Despite what is happening around us, we will be okay. We will be okay.
What? I turn away from Francis and I look back at Dan. Dan, what is going on?
Dan has just finished rolling his eyes, as he often does when Francis starts talking about his relationship with God. But I understand that it makes him comfortable. Don't worry about it, Vicky. I don't know what's going on. He does that all the time. We are, I think we're going to where?
Going to a city, maybe a place where I can, I don't know, get some medical attention. I'm not gonna lie, I'm in a lot of pain.
What happened to you? How am I here? Why am all... I've spent summer beside the lake somewhere in the forest, and I'm bitten by these mosquitoes.
Dan?
Vicky, remember Uncle Edward?
Yes, well, he's not Uncle Edward.
Right. Yeah, I think all of that might have kind of made your memory a little bit fuzzy, but we went through that portal.
Yeah?
It sounds funny, even saying that word in my mouth. But I guess that's what it is. And
wait. So we went through the portal and ended up in this car.
No, we stepped into a forest and have since then, made it to the road. And
we visited that house, remember? Got some new clothes and such. There was a party out front.
What?
Right. Yeah.
I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't.
I ended up here, in the car.
You remember one thing, Vicky, as you sit there talking to Francis and Dan. You remember waking up in a dirt cellar. It's all black with a few torches on the wall that are lit as you wake up. And you remember a pale face of a woman crawling towards you, eyeless, holes in her head where her eyes should be, dripping with blood. And you remember hearing yourself scream, and then everything goes black, and now you're here.
Wait a moment. What did that woman do? You know, the one in the cellar?
She's familiar to me. Someone from my past, but I think she's gone. I mean, looking at her, it's Satan has a way of tempting you, of making you see things that make you question your faith.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Dan. Vicky, it's some crazy thing, just like one of the other crazy things that have been chasing me around ever since I saw that creature on the computer. And I believe that that's where we're headed. We're going to fix this.
You hear sirens, and you see 2 police cars pass you, going the opposite way. Jonna, the driver, looks at you, but she doesn't say anything. Then she looks back to the road again.
The party. I don't say that. I kind of give Francis a look.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, look, Dan, I respect you as an elder of the community. But look, what is more far-fetched? That this is just the happenstance of some crazy world bumping into each other, or that we are on the road to some sort of divinity, some sort of test from God that, despite appearances, in the end will show that he loves us.
All right, Francis. You know, you might be right. I just don't give it those names. I don't know what's going on. Because if I was to call it something, I'd call it hell.
Wait. I thought we spoke, it's about your work, right? Experiments? Something like that?
It has to do with that. It has to do with what I saw.
Yeah. You said somewhere like far away, right?
Right, yeah, it's not so far away anymore. It's like a couple hours away if I've got my distances correct.
Yeah. Look, hell is the absence of God. And as you saw earlier, God is still with me. So we are not in hell. This is just the world, bare and naked in front of us, much like the truth coming out of the fountain. It is something that is beautiful and we cannot turn our eyes from.
I don't want to be rude, but you are the only one who seems to be needed medical attention, and you say that God is with you.
It is because I take... You should have seen what I did with Dan. I touched him and I prayed, and he's fine and I am in pain. It's almost like God is giving me his power. I don't... Dan, you saw it, right?
I saw something, Francis. I've seen a whole lot of somethings, though, and I'm just not that sort of person. I'm a scientist. I'm a pragmatist. I work on computers. I deal with facts and absolutes, and I don't know what all of this is, but there's a reason for it. If you want to call that what you're calling it, then that's fine. I'm with you on that.
You're entering a small town. Jonna looks at you again, and she says, I will drop you off at the hospital. It's just up ahead here.
That would be great. Honestly, it sounds like I'm doing well, but it feels like my insides want to be on the outside.
What are we going to tell in the hospital? That you went through a portal? No, wait a minute, you didn't. How are you with us in here? You didn't go through the thing, Uncle Edward. What? I'm still confused.
Look, it is because God wants me here, and part of my task is to watch out for you two.
Okay.
I'll just tell them I don't know, I fell down the stairs, or... Oh, God. How the hell am I going to explain why I'm here? Okay, let's just try.
Yeah, they have to take care of you.
Yeah. I need help getting out of the car.
The ride stops at a small hospital. You're in a town, an old mining town, as you understand. Jonna points towards the entrance. It says emergency. You can get help here through that entrance. You step out.
I kind of lean against the car, and I don't know where your journey's taking you, but thank you for everything that you've done.
No problem. It has felt a bit awkward the whole time, as she have apparently listened in on your conversation, but she hasn't said anything.
What do you think about all of this? I mean, 3 strangers appear at your doorstep and...
Oh, for God's sakes, Francis, let's just get you inside and let this poor woman go on her way.
I don't know. You'll get help in here, and good luck. And she drives off.
I'll help Francis walk in.
Just to reconnect a bit with your characters, can you describe both your current appearance, you have new clothes, and your demeanor as you stand there looking around? Let's start with Dan.
Dan's in a running suit, like a matching pair of jogging pants and a zip-up jacket with a t-shirt on underneath it, and then just a generic pair of white sneakers. He feels rather silly. Being from Jersey City, he feels like a gangster.
And your t-shirt is it's probably a hard rock or metal band or something. It says In Flames.
Outstanding. Yes, all I need is some gold chains or something and sunglasses, and I'd really be styling.
Francis, how do you look?
Francis is wearing kind of this gray sweats and a t-shirt on, something that looks like just kind of taken from the closet. None of it is kind of folded up nicely as he would like it, and even during the car ride, you can kind of see him trying to smooth it out a little bit, and between coughing up blood and rubbing it on his sweats. He is disheveled. It looks like he hasn't really slept much. He kind of has this face that looks like he's always in pain, but trying to stay positive and keep up a smile, if only for appearance. His kind of blue greenish eyes have lost some of the twinkle it had when you probably first saw him, and it's now replaced with a almost sort of fanatic madness to it, as he clings ever closer to his beliefs.
And Vicky, you have pretty nice clothes that you actually like, so you can describe it. You haven't chosen them yourself, but it was a lucky strike that you got these ones.
If I'm happy, so probably my clothes are black, purely black, and that's probably a dress which is going down to my knees, not under my knees. And probably it has like this elegant style and very soft fabric. And the only accessory I would wear would be my pendant, which is very precious to me. And that's what I would hold in my palm when I walk into the hospital with my companions. I haven't kept my hair tidy, so they will be disheveled a little bit, left to just run down free to my shoulders, dry dread, hair, which kind of sort of makes these like very pale blue eyes to stand out, because most of the time you would expect someone like that have like brown eyes, and mine is very, very pale. These eyes would be really, really confused, and I would be looking at my clothes and at my companions and Dan, Francis around the hospital. I would be looking almost like lost.
Oliver, you're at the hospital, outside the ER. It's exactly 10:23 now. On the other side of the car park, you see the entrance. A truck stops at the driveway, and you see the man and the woman from the photo step out. There's also a third man. He seems injured. They say something to the driver in the truck just before it drives off. Then they start to walk towards the entrance to the ER, helping the third man. Oliver, can you describe how you look? What's going through your mind and what you do?
So I'm Oliver Hayden. I am a youngish man in my early 20s, currently wearing a white t-shirt, blue jeans, casual wear. I'm quite tall, but rather scrawny for my age, with short dark hair and dark eyes. Sitting in my car, watching the two people from the photo. I'm still not really sure I believe it's actually them, but it is, although I don't know who this third person is. I kind of just watched them from my car for a moment, seeing what they're doing.
And what do you do, Dan, Francis, Vicky?
I like to take a look around if I see any nurses or someone like that walking around, and if so, I would like to approach them.
It's a small lobby and you see an arrow pointing to the right, emergencies. To the left is a normal waiting room and a reception. There's also an emergency reception to the right, further in. You can see a nurse sitting behind a desk there.
I'll sit Francis down in a chair or something so that he can, and then go to the counter if Vicky's not already walking that way.
If I will see that Dan is walking towards the counter, then I would remain with Francis instead, just to make sure that, he's fine.
Dan, you come to the emergency reception. It's a young woman. She looks up at you and she says something in Swedish.
Do you speak English?
Yeah.
Yeah, my friend here is hurt. He needs to see a doctor.
Okay, what has happened?
He fell.
Oh, all right. If you can bring me his ID and you have to fill in a paper here. I'm going to call a doctor. Where is he injured?
Everywhere inside, I think. Like in his guts. Maybe he broke a rib or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I'm calling the doctor right away, and I have the papers here for you to fill in. And if you can give me his ID.
Yeah, I look over at Vicky and Francis, and I just yell out, "They need his ID. Can you bring me his ID?" Oh, I realize he doesn't have an ID. We left in a hurry. He's not in his clothes. He doesn't have his ID with him. Can we take care of that part later?
Yeah, you can fill in the paper with all the information. And
all right, thank you so much. He's hurting really bad.
She gives you the paper and she picks up the phone and you hear her talking Swedish.
I'll go back over to them. She's going to call the doctor and we'll have to fill out the forms, I guess.
Oliver, the three persons, they disappear into the hospital. You see them through the windows. They sit in the emergency area waiting. What do you do?
I take one more look at the photo on the phone and the text message. Shake my head a little, and then open the door to my car. Lock it as I get out. Start walking to the place. I'm a little hesitant to bother these people when they got someone with them who looks injured or something. I don't know. But, I don't know, I'll slowly enter and just sort of find a chair to sit in and just watch them for a little longer.
After a while, a doctor and a nurse comes out and tells you, Francis, to come with them. They ask you first if you can walk.
Yeah, I just need a little bit of help.
They help you up. The nurse look at Dan and Vicky and asks if you want to come with or wait here.
Yes, I would like to stay with them. I don't want to be alone.
I think it would be best if you would go with doctors and we will just wait here. They will take care of you. I need to talk to Dan. Everything will be fine. The God is with you.
Last time I was in a place like this, it didn't feel safe. I don't want to be alone.
Francis, you're starting to cough up more blood. And it's starting to hurt very much in your chest. And you can hardly draw breath anymore.
Go with them, Francis. I'll be there just as quickly as I can. Go ahead and go. Let me talk to Vicky for a second.
The doctor says something in Swedish, almost panicking, and he drags you away together with the nurse. And he says to you, we're in a hurry. We got to take care of you now.
Okay,
and you are taken away.
It'll be all right.
Promise me.
Francis, how do you feel when all this happens? Are you afraid or?
Oh yes, Francis is starting to panic. He did not think Dan and Vicky would abandon him in this way, and he's like, God, please let this not be like last time.
I wonder, do you have to roll Keep It Together?
Oh yes, I do.
You can describe how you act.
Yeah, Francis kind of looks down at his hands, calloused, and squeezes them. For God did not give me a spirit of fear. As he's kind of like closing his eyes and imagining the trickling light coming into the church hall, the smell of incense and offering bread and the kind of the leather of the Gideon Bible, as he just kind of tries to block out everything that's happening around him.
And they take you into a private room where they lay you down on a bed and start to examine you. Dan, Vicky, and Oliver. As you see, Francis is led away to get help into another corridor and is gone. The ground starts to shake. You almost lose your balance, but it's over as fast as it came. A crack in the hospital wall starts to form next to you. Then it's all silent again. The people around you look surprised. Most are still looking around. Then things are slowly picking up again, and they get back to their normal doings.
Vicky, was that I guess it was an earthquake. Are you all right?
No, I'm not all right, but not because of this earthquake. Dan, tell me what happened. I don't remember anything after the moment we separated from Uncle Edward, and it's just like this thing, this woman, and that soul, like, screams. Tell me, without him, without these stories about the god, what happened?
I don't want to leave him back there with those doctors very long. We ended up at this house out in the woods, basically, like a big house, like a mansion. Mm-hmm. And there was a party there. It was a bunch of kids. I don't think their parents were home. Mm-hmm. And they were partying it up, and Francis was hurt, and we'd been through everything, so I thought it best that we rest, and so we did. Only I think everybody at that party died. Francis was passed out. I got him, and then we got the hell out of there.
What do you mean everybody died? How?
See, there we are with that how again, Vicky. I don't know how.
What do you mean you don't know? You saw, you've been there, you said...
No, I mean, like, I don't know, maybe they all drank something. I mean, they were partying it up. I went to bed. I was tired.
Why are you shouting at me?
I'm not
just
shouting.
Asking questions.
I'm keeping my voice down. I'm excited.
Like
I'm amped up.
I'm
sorry, Vicky. I'm not trying to shout at you. I'm worried about Francis. I'm worried about you. I'm worried about us. I'm worried about... There was just an earthquake.
Oliver, you hear a part of this conversation. Not everything, but some of it. Enough to understand what they are kind of talking about. And the quake you just felt, that's something that you have never felt here before in your life.
Well, I certainly find that a bit strange, but, well... This is all very strange. Still, yeah, I kind of hear what they're saying. Speaking English, okay, that's interesting. So I guess I'll awkwardly... It looks like I'm about to go up, and I feel it happens just as you're having that moment where your voices are raised a little, and so I awkwardly, wait a few seconds, and then when you stop seeming agitated, I'm like, hi, sorry, excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yes?
Are you is your name Dan? And are you Vicky? Dan and Vicky, is that right?
Who's asking?
Okay. I sort of awkwardly step forward and then try and smile in a friendly way. Well, okay, my name's Oliver Hayden. You probably don't know me. I don't know you, but, do you know Daniel?
Yes, I know Daniel.
Right. Okay, that's good then. Okay, look, this is all really weird, but, Daniel told me that I had to meet with you two for some reason. Does any of this make any sense to you? Why? What? Like?
He's been doing that a lot lately, apparently. Oliver, my name's Dan. It's nice to meet you. This is Vicky. You'll have to forgive us. It's been a crazy amount of time, and this Daniel person got a hold of you too, and said you needed.
Well, they're a really good friend of mine. I've been studying with them for a few years now. Okay, this is weird. I move forward a little and I smile at Vicky. You can both tell I'm finding this a very, very weird situation, but I'm trying to put on a brave face. Okay. So the other day, I'm at Daniel's flat. We're just hanging, and he shows me some weird stuff on his computer, and I'm thinking it's weird, and then I go to the bathroom, and then I come back, and he's gone. Like, just vanished from the apartment, and no one knows where he's gone. No one. And that was yesterday, and I got a text from him pretty much after he disappeared saying, you need to go and meet some people called Dan and Vicky, and you need to help them. And they'll be here at 10:23, like tomorrow.
That is strange and oddly specific.
Is this the Daniel with the really funny last name, like Schmutkin, Schmush, Mush, Mush? I don't remember.
I laugh a little and say, well, I mean, strange if you don't speak Swedish, yeah.
Okay, he called us also. Remember Dan, right?
Yeah, I do.
But wait, you're not friends of his?
I never heard about him before he called us, but apparently he knows Dan because they work together somehow in the past or now or
I'm not really sure how that is. I don't really know Daniel personally, but he seems to have been tied up in this in some capacity. He called us or reached out, perhaps is maybe a better term, and told us that we needed to get up here to check out this thing.
Right. Okay, that's all really vague.
I mean, at first, he kind of sort of sounded like he was threatening us, right, Dan?
Well, I wasn't that threatened by it, Vicky. It was a tense situation at that particular moment, so I understand how it'd be that way. But yes, he was very dire in his tone, and I'm sorry, Oliver. This does all seem very vague. I'm kind of confused, and to be honest with you, I'm a little out of my mind at the moment. So I'm trying to piece some of this together as well.
So what you're saying is neither of you two know where he is?
No, he could possibly be at this meteorological laboratory up north.
Oh, he did mention something like that. Okay, well, I mean, I guess I better continue to say that the other thing he wanted me to do was for you to look at his laptop and see the weird video.
Oh.
You'd understand it.
Excellent. Yeah, you've got a computer? This is the first time Dan's actually looked happy.
I don't have it on me now, but I guess there's no harm in taking you there. If he wanted you to come to his apartment, I can get you to his apartment. What about your friend? And I look to where the other gentleman was taken. Like, is he okay?
I actually don't know. I should go check on him. Vicky, this is Oliver. You guys, I'm going to go check on Francis, and I'll be back in a minute.
You walk up to the reception. The woman there asks you if you have filled in the papers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so worried. I don't. No, we're filling those out now.
Bring them back to me as soon as you're done.
Yeah, okay. Can I go check on him, see if he's okay?
Let me check. Sit down a moment and I will get you when I talk to the doctor. And she picks up the phone again. I want you to roll see through the illusion.
A 4.
As you look at her before you turn and walk away, you see her eyes are suddenly completely black, but they are back to normal as fast as they changed. You don't know if you're seeing things or if it was real or not. She doesn't do anything else. She says something in Swedish on the phone.
Oh, Dan doesn't just wonder if he's seeing things. If I see something, I think I'm seeing it. I turn around and walk back to the chair. They're going to find out. I need to fill out this clipboard, and I'm sure it's probably obvious on my face, but I'm kind of giving Vicky the things aren't right here look. But I'm not saying anything because I don't know Oliver that well. And I'll sit down next to Vicky and start piddling around with the paperwork and lean to Vicky and sort of in a whisper, I don't know if I trust this hospital.
Why?
I saw the receptionist's eyes turned black.
Wait, what?
They turned black.
Like, so she's like the others, what we saw with these other doctors, like the one who was treating you?
Yeah, I don't know. Dan's just looking around, wide-eyed, runs his fingers through what hair he has left, and I don't know. I'm worried about Francis now.
So go and take him.
Suddenly you hear in the speakers someone is calling for Dr. Hall to the reception, please. Dr. Hall to the reception.
My eyes grow really, really wide and like I start shaking and I look at Dan. I'm really scared. My hand starts to shake. My eyes grow wide. I look at Dan and it just like my whole facial expression is that I want to just stand up and run away from here right now. And I don't think I will care about Francis in this case if there's doctor coming in.
You can lower your stability by 1. Oliver, you hear something on the speaker in English. You don't really pay attention much to it, but suddenly both Dan and Vicky are starting to look scared.
Yes, I sort of eased away a little to give them a moment to talk. I was texting some friends, basically saying, yes, still no sign of Daniel. And I noticed this reaction, and I'm like, you two okay? Look a little like... So you've seen a ghost or something?
Yeah, I don't think this place is safe, Oliver. That Dr. Hall that they just called for is, he's not a good doctor. I'll just put it that way. Vicky, you and Oliver need to leave. I've got to go I can't just leave Francis here. I mean, I don't know what it is. I can't just leave him here to be tore apart by these creatures.
And we're gonna jump over to Francis. You also hear the speakers saying this. At the time you're hearing this, they are draining one of your lungs from blood. And you have a tube in your side.
Oh, that did not go well.
You can choose a disposition and tell me how you react.
Scared as I go from uneasy to unfocused. Did they say Dr. Hall?
The nurse pushes you back into the bed with one hand on your chest, and you can roll see through the illusion as you're asking that question and look at her.
Oh, hell no.
At 10, you see her face start to change. The eyes becomes completely black, and her skin is gray, pale with dark gray veins, and she says to you, "You gotta keep calm, Francis. We're gonna drain you of all your blood. It will soon be over."
Oh, fuck. No. And he's starting to, like, pull. He's just going to try to grab her and do some violence.
Engage in combat.
Francis, like, tries to get up and try to kick her in the face, saying like, "Back, Satan! Oh my God!"
You're thrashing around like a little baby, and she just holds you down with her hand. You don't connect with anything, and she just smiles at you. We got a lively one here.
Dad! Vicky! Please!
We're gonna go back to the lobby again. What do you do out there? What do Oliver and Vicky do?
Without any doubts, when Dan tells me that Oliver and I have to go out, I would try to just grab Oliver by the hand and run, dragging him after me out of the hospital.
Perfect. And Oliver, do you let her?
Well, I'm full of a lot of mixed emotions right now. The first one being that this is escalating in a very strange way. I'm not entirely sure of these people's state of mind. But at the same time, Dan and Vicky seem like they're really scared, and I help people out. And again, a girl of my similar age to myself suddenly grabbing me by the hand and leading me somewhere. I'm like, I feel the need to at least be sympathetic before I thought. So I kind of go, and as I'm going with Vicky, I kind of just mumble, okay, well, if you feel better, my car's just outside. Would that make you feel better?
Yes, absolutely. Let's go to your car. That will be safe, right? Because you can drive, but don't drive now. Because Dan, and Francis, but yeah, let's go.
Okay, don't worry. We'll wait for your friends. It's all gonna be fine. Don't worry. And I follow with her.
You go out to the parking lot to your car, and we're gonna jump back to Dan. So, what do you do?
I walk past the nurse's station or the counter, whatever, and into the back part of the hospital, as it were, past the doors that nobody goes past, and will start sort of not really yelling out, but looking into rooms and around corners. Francis.
As you're going past the glass doors, you see a corridor that leads to left and right. And just as you're standing there and wondering which way to go, you hear from the right Francis scream.
Dad! Vicky! Please!
I will run in that direction. Francis!
You see a door is open, and as you come close to it, you see Francis is lying on a bed there with a tube in his side, blood going out from the tube into the floor.
Oh, shit.
The whole floor is covered with blood, Francis' blood. A doctor is looking at you with black eyes, and you see a nurse holding Francis down. So what do you do?
I'm bursting into the room. I will notice the doctor and the nurse secondary to me grasping at this tube that is leaking Francis all over the floor, and kink it, put my thumb on the end of it or something, and yell, "What the fuck is going on in here?" and start pulling Francis up.
The first thing I want you to do as you run into the room is to roll reflexes. 13. You slip a little, but you don't fall, and you get a hold of the tube, and you put your thumb at the end of it as the doctor turns and you see his fist connect with your face. You have to roll endure injury.
4.
You have to choose. What happens?
With the fist to the face, I would say, being that it's Dan, he got knocked out.
Dan, I don't feel so good, and I'm just gonna try to roll off the bed.
The nurse is still holding you, so you can roll for act under pressure. 14. You roll off the bed, no problem. And as you hit the ground next to Dan, the ground starts to shake again. The doctor is falling down as well, and the nurse on the other side. It's a pretty heavy quake.
He's like kind of tripping and kind of trying to get his hands underneath him as he's slipping on his own blood as he reaches out for Dan. Dan, please! As I'm moving forward, try to bite down on this woman's ankle desperately.
She's lying there just trying to stay still in the quake, and you bite her ankle.
Oh, I'm trying to go through bone.
You can roll violence just to see how hard it is. You don't penetrate her skin, but you feel a strange taste as you bite down. It tastes like sulfur.
Oh, God.
Your mouth is dry. It starts to burn on your tongue.
What the fuck are you?
And the ground stops to shake. The doctor and the nurse are slowly getting up. Now they look completely human again. Covered with blood, though, your blood.
In the name of God.
Dan, you're waking up.
You will release me and Dan this instant, and we are leaving.
They're just standing there looking at you. They seem confused.
All right, so get me the fuck up. I am bleeding and I don't feel well.
I will grab some handfuls of gauze, surgical tape or something. If I don't see any laying out, I'll start ruffling through drawers until I have grasped an armful of stuff that I think I can use to help him out as I put my arm around him, paying attention to this tube that is sticking out of his side. I'm assuming it's still not connected to anything.
No, it's not connected to anything.
And I'm going to carry him out or walk him out, tube and all.
The doctor and the nurse are just standing there looking at you. And you get out to the lobby. Both you and Francis are covered in blood. The tube falls out from his side.
God. I kind of look at the secretary and say, fuck this hospital.
She is standing up with her phone halfway to her ear, just looking at you with her mouth open. And so does the rest of the people in the waiting room.
And I'm just walking him straight out. I don't give a rat's ass what anybody's doing. And once I get out, I'll start scanning the parking lot looking for Vicky.
You can describe how you look as you come out for Vicky and Oliver, who sits in a car further down the parking lot. You don't see them yet, but they see you.
I am in the same tracksuit, except I have blood all over me, like I'm wet and sticky with it, like I was in a blood shower. Slipped in it, fell in it, or was knocked out in it.
For Francis, he's covered in blood. He looks paler than he has ever looked. The blood is just in his hair, caked in the various places on him. He has this very kind of fucking done with it look on his face as he's leaning against Dan, his knees kind of shaking underneath him, almost a manic tint to his eyes.
Oliver and Vicky, how do you react to this?
Well, after having got Vicky to the car and done my best to try and calm her down, I'm just staring at two individuals coming out of a hospital, mostly covered in blood, and I just say, what the fuck? And I look to Vicky like,
That's not the worst, Oliver. That's not the worst. That doctor, you don't understand. He's like, he killed people. He killed a woman, and then that woman came back, and things went crazy, and now probably they're also really hurt. Just drive to them.
All right. And again, I more just to calm her down. I'm like, okay. I start driving towards the two, not in a fast way, just in a way that looks like a car's coming towards you to help.
You see Oliver and Vicky you can describe your car.
My car is a sports car, red. It's a Mitsubishi KULT, actually. I sort of drive up, sort of turn a little, and sort of undo the locks on the doors so that you could come in.
So, when we open the doors... And of course, when he gets up close, he can see just how much of a mess we are. And I'm going to be practically pushing poor bloody Francis into the back of this nice sports car. There's going to be blood everywhere.
Are you sure? We can go to another hospital if you don't like this hospital. Because I think your friend...
I fucking... is this Sweden hospitals? This is... God damn it. Ugh.
Well, I wait for them to get in, and when they are in, I'll just start driving out of the area. Not very fast, mind you, but...
Dan, are you hurt? Dan?
No.
Dan? Oh my God. Fucking Vicky? Is Dan hurt? Look at me! I told you not to leave me alone.
Why are you shouting at me?
Dan? What the fuck, man? And he's just kind of smacking his head against the window in complete frustration.
Hey, buddy, I don't know if that's good for you doing that right now. That's probably a bad idea. Just saying, I'm not a doctor or anything.
I'm fine, Vicky. This is all Francis's blood, and I'll start rifling through the gauze and stuff, and I'm gonna lift his shirt up, see how bad the wound is, and start treating it, putting pressure on it.
It's not very large. It's a puncture hole, and you have to stop the bleeding at least.
We need to go someplace where he can lie down for a little bit. No fucking hospitals.
Yeah, no one with a medical degree, please.
Okay, I guess I'll take you to Daniel's, but
Wait, who the fuck is Daniels?
That's perfect. He's the one that got us here.
although, seriously, who are you guys? Like, are you in trouble with because the only thing I've been thinking about this is that Daniel looked at something he shouldn't have, and now he's in trouble with the cops or something. Like, just, are you in trouble in that way? Is that what's going on? That way he can't go to the hospital?
It's uncanny that he actually said that because of how right on the money he is. And so I will kind of pause for a second with my mouth hanging open as I process that. And my response is, yeah, something like that. We're kind of in the same field. He saw something, I saw something, and I think he's been trying to help me because weird stuff has been happening to us too, as you can see.
Okay. Vicky, you okay now? We're away from... There's no doctors here.
I'm alright, but, like, we have no doctors. Like, probably Francis is gonna die, like second time.
Fuck, I haven't died yet.
Okay.
I'm... Oh my god. Don't let me pass out, please.
We just got to get this bleeding to stop. You might pass out, Francis. You've lost a ton of blood.
Do not let me pass out.
Daniel, I think, keeps some stuff in his bathroom. Like, okay, I start trying to drive a little faster to Daniel's, hoping that I'm pretty sure he does have like a basic first aid in his home.
Daniel's apartment is around 5 minutes from the hospital by car, and you get there pretty fast. It's at the top floor of a 3-floor building in the middle of town. You park outside the building.
Yes, well, I do my best to help Dan and Vicky, like, get Francis out of the car, try not to mention how despairing I am and all the blood staining my car.
When you get to the apartment, it's just one room, a small hallway and a bathroom. There's a balcony on the back of the room. The main room have a small area that serves as kitchen. The rest of the room is both living room and bedroom, as there's a bed by one wall. Next to it, you see Daniel's computer on a desk. On the screen, you see a white geometric shapes moving around. In the center of the screen, there's a silver circle and a copper-colored upside-down triangle.
Well, I let them in, and I go and try and rummage in the bathroom. I have been here before. Like, okay, I might have some bandages or like a painkiller or something. I mean, it's not that helpful, but anything's better than nothing, right? Fuck, okay.
Yeah, I'll dump my inventory of whatever I scooped up at the hospital as well and wash my hands.
You put Francis on the bed.
Just don't leave me, anyone. Don't let me go to sleep.
Francis, you're going to have to go to sleep.
Oh, the fuck I'm not.
It's going to happen. You're going to have to rest.
No.
We're going to be here for a minute.
Maybe get me a book or something.
A book, yeah. That'll keep you awake.
Yeah, I'd have like the Bible. It's...
What about some alcohol?
For the wound?
I don't know, like I saw in the movies, like sometimes people like also like drink, the ones who are injured, and then they don't feel like the pain and they feel like better.
Numb the pain.
Daniel might have something in the fridge. I didn't check.
I don't think I should drink.
Once I think he's as stable as we're going to be able to get it, I'm going to make my way to that computer. But I want to make sure Francis is squared away before we go.
You don't think he's very stable at all. He's extremely pale. And Francis, you feel like you're going to fall asleep soon.
I bite down on my lip, drawing blood to try to keep myself awake. He's terrified.
Has the bleeding slowed or stopped, perchance?
You can roll act under pressure to check the wound and see how well you did. 7. It's still bleeding.
Dan.
You're going to be all right, Francis.
No, hold on. Come on. Just sit here, please. If I if this doesn't work out, in general, can you, you always think that this time you might have someone to kind of say something to or to think about, but really all I can think about is the doctor.
Don't think about that, Francis. You're going to be fine. You just need to relax. You know what you need to do, Francis. You should pray.
Will you pray with me, Dan?
I will sit here while you pray.
That's good enough.
I come over, now having gathered and found a little bit of a bandage or two and some basic, probably like painkiller or something. I'm like, okay, look, well, let me just check that bandage. I'm not a doctor, but, my dad taught me how to do a few cuts. Sometimes you get injured working at a truck stop garage, so I might be able to at least clean it a little.
As long as, you don't kill me, that's fine.
I'm not going to try and kill you.
You can roll act under pressure. You stop the bleeding and stabilize the wound.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Dan, did I hear there's maybe milk?
Yeah, sure. I'm looking a little surprised because, God, I haven't ever had to deal with this sort of injury, but at least the basic principle of apply pressure, clean wound seemed to have helped. So thank God for that. I'm like, okay, cool. Right. Okay.
Dan, can you do me a favor?
What's that?
Can you go to the computer?
Yeah, I'm going to do that. What do you want?
Can you just leave a review or something for that hospital? Make it scathing. Oh, fuck this place. Oh, God, I cursed. Oh, man. Sorry, God. Oh.
I go over to Vicky and I say, okay, so you feeling a bit better now?
No, I don't think that any of us will feel ever better. It's just going to go worse. And also for you, why did Daniel include you? You seem to be such a nice person, and now you're also in all this mess.
Oh, thank you. Well, it didn't include me. He's my friend. I've known him for years.
Oh, so you're like me, stuck with a friend who did something bad.
Well, now hang on. I don't know if he... All I know is that he, maybe by the sounds of it, looked at something he shouldn't have. He got this clip. It's on the computer. It looks like just a bunch of nonsense, really, but I don't know. It came from like you said, Dad, a place up north. So maybe it was a secure thing. And I don't know. You said you guys are in trouble, like with, well, maybe not the police by the looks of it. Maybe someone else.
Yeah, not police. Police would be really good in comparison to what is going on. I've seen things I never imagined I could see, and I think that I am going crazy, but I don't know. Can you show that to Dan?
You know what? Sure, yeah, why not? Why not? Okay, I go to the computer as well. I'm like, okay, Dan,
As you're looking at the screen, you see this silver circle and copper-colored upside-down triangle that you have never seen before. It looks like a screensaver. And as you're moving the mouse or trying to use the keyboard, it doesn't work. It's locked.
Oh, okay, this wasn't here before.
Nothing happens when I press any buttons. I'll clickety-click, tap, tap, tap.
Nothing at all. It doesn't even pop up a window for any password or anything. But as you're looking at the screen, then you can see through the illusion.
11.
You see a few words on the screen. They come into focus, then they fade out again. You recognize them from a door in an alleyway some time back.
Oh.
What do you do?
What the fuck's happening?
Hold on. I think I see something. And do they stay up long enough for me to speak them out loud?
They do.
Then I do that as best I can. Askaru Sintos Bringa Toruk Shiashi Odra.
And as you do that, the computer is active and the screen fades into a normal computer screen.
Okay, that was not supposed to happen that way.
I didn't know he had a voice command security program in there. Okay.
I wasn't expecting that either.
As you're standing there looking at the screen, you also see a clock in the upper left corner. It's counting down from 5 minutes, starting now.
That's curious. I'm still slightly uneasy from everything that's been happening. This recollection with my father is mildly upsetting. I see the clock. I don't want to let the panic set in, but it's starting to set in. Have I gathered any more information? Fuck, do I have time to gather? I don't have time to gather any more information. Francis, fuck. How much time is on the clock?
4 minutes, 30 seconds.
I think we need to go. Do you see this clock, Oliver, here on the screen?
Yeah. Hang on a minute. Hang on. I kind of go forward, and being a student of this sort of thing, I kind of just am very curious. I just start trying to bring up some keyboard commands to find out, wait, why is there a clock counting down? How do I stop this clock? There must be a command prompt or something. I just start going in.
Daniel he likes this kind of stuff, security and his own things that he puts on his computer all the time. He tries new one almost every week. You can roll a reason check. 9. You're pretty sure that it's probably some kind of password or something, and you have seen Daniel write in passwords on his computer without any prompt, just writing them down and clicking enter. Maybe if you knew someone who could maybe hack it. You don't think you can do it?
I looked to Dan. I think it's one of his security programs. I think it's they'll probably look down the system or something. That it should be a password protected, but I don't know.
Okay, all right. Well, I worried about so many crazy things happening. I will use my hacker advantage. I rolled a 10.
You find out how to bypass this security. It's not very hard at all, but you also know that you are leaving traces behind, but in this situation you don't think that it's doesn't matter. And the clock stops and another screen comes up, and you see the VPN and the darknet, and on the screen you see the video that you saw some time ago. It's the same one.
Well, I'm slightly relieved because I was afraid that the clock would count down and the world would fall apart. So to realize that was just my neurotic self. Yeah. So I don't know if I should show them this or not, but he's already right here. Okay, so this is a satellite footage. And I'll fast forward a little bit. It's fuzzy. You can't hardly make it out. It's digitized, and then this is probably a copy of a copy, perhaps. But you're seeing basically what looks like an image, like you see on the news when they're showing you drone strikes or missile placement. At least it was big during Desert Storm. And, so you get this satellite view, aerial view of a building, and then not much, and then I'm gonna be like, oh, here, watch this, and then suddenly a chunk of the building, like a quarter of it from this one corner and part of the wall and the ceiling sort of just explode outward, and this creature that is taller than the building, probably twice as tall as the building, comes crawling out and starts, you can see then there's guards about the place who try to interfere, and he flings them about and then takes off. It's difficult to describe. You can tell it's bipedal, maybe humanoid looking, but you can't really distinguish any features from this particular copy.
And it's the same video that Daniel showed you last night, Oliver.
Yeah, there you go. That's the movie footage or whatever, and
that's real. That really happened.
How do you know?
Trust me, I know.
All right. Well, yeah, okay. He showed me that, and I was like, okay, that's weird. And I literally went to the bathroom, and when I came back, he was gone. Like, vanished from the apartment entirely. He went from being, hey, I think I found something cool, and then he was gone.
And what did he... It was like this page that you saw that he was on?
Yeah, he didn't...
Okay.
Fuck, I didn't know he got it through the darknet. Of course he was on the darknet. But are you sure it's real? Like, again, darknet, there's a lot of stupid stuff here.
Yeah, I didn't get it this way. I got it through some official sources. I'll just put it that way. I'm going to just visually scan the rest of the screen looking for something that stands out that might be a clue to his disappearance. Because I'm perfectly acceptable to the fact that he clicked on something and then poofed away.
You see a text file with your name on it, Dan Smith.
Okay. Click. Welcome, son. I knew you would be able to solve it. After all, it's the chant we always said as you were a little boy to keep you safe from the other side. And the angel. Now he's found us, but if you find Jacqueline west from the farm, go to her. She knows where they're experimenting on the beast, and there you will find a way to loosen the grip. Okay. So some of this makes me feel good. A lot of it makes me feel worse or confused. I'll look to Oliver. Do you know Jacqueline and this farm in, I'll let you pronounce that.
Mertajärvi.
Well, I know the place. It's only about 2 hours from... Well, it's a small village, actually, 2 hours north of... But, what the... How do you know Daniel again? Why is he calling you... Sound like a nickname or something?
Yeah, I don't know. Oliver, I don't know.
I look to Vicky and also Francis by the bed just to see how they're reacting.
Francis is, like, guzzling down milk and kind of looking over. Is this farm, is it in Sweden?
Yeah, 2 hours from here.
Oh, man. All right.
Francis, we gotta take care of this. This is what's causing all of this. If I can go take care of this, then we can go home and everything will go back to normal. So,
Are you fucking serious?
What?
You will go, like, what? Are you going to go alone to all this mess? Because Francis can't go, I obviously can't go, and Oliver is, also, like, you're not some sort of vigilante, Dan. I don't want anything happening to you. You can't go alone. And look at Francis.
He's not going alone. I'm.
No, we're gonna.
You can't even.
We'll rest here at Daniel's for I don't know, maybe a day. Look, Francis can't go anywhere. I don't know if I can go up there alone. You're right.
Exactly.
I mean, it wasn't exactly what I was saying. I'm just saying that we're going to have to get through with this. And, Francis needs to not be in such a rush to get back to the States because that's not happening.
Francis will need like a month of this healing.
No, I think I'm feeling a lot better. Really, this milk is helping a lot.
Just some hours of rest will work wonders. At least that way we can see what the wound looks like, and if we may have to go to find something to stitch him up. I don't know if he's and I'll kind of look to Vicky and whisper out, he may not even make it through the night if he's bleeding inside. So we should just camp out here at Daniel's. He's got some food. There's some stuff to drink in the fridge.
No.
And we'll deal with it tomorrow. What else are we going to do, Vicky?
No, we can't just let him die here. You can't just sit and wait until he dies.
Hold on. Wait, what?
He's going to be fine. I'm not waiting
Oliver.
for him to die, and we're not going to the hospital. He won't go to a hospital. I'm not going to a hospital.
Wait. You're not listening.
I'm sorry.
Oliver.
Yeah?
You said that your father teach you a little bit of the medicine, so your father knows these things. Can your father help us?
Well, no, he's a truck garage worker. Like,
I thought you said that.
He can dress the wound. This is, like when you cut yourself when you're like welding a car or something. Not like this.
Do you know any doctors? I mean, if you're living here, you obviously have to know doctors.
No. Sorry, if he doesn't go to the hospital, then he doesn't go to a hospital, Fuck.
So are you saying that we have to just wait until he dies?
Hold on!
Well, I mean, there's also a hospital 4 hours from here by car, another one.
Vicky, why? I'm not gonna die.
Dan said you will.
Look,
I didn't say he was going to die. Vicky, he's got a pretty serious wound. We got to make sure that he's not bleeding internally. If he starts to get worse over the next couple of hours, then of course we will have no choice but to take him and dump him off at the hospital.
Look, if I hear the word die again, I am going to puke on this man's floor.
You're not going to die, Francis. You're going to be fine. I think you're looking better already. I'm just, I have to think about all the different possibilities. I think we're going to be. He
looks as pale as a paper. We have to go to that other doctor like 4 hours, and we still have to do something.
He looks better than he looked an hour ago.
And suddenly there's a crack in the outer wall next to the balcony, and everything starts to shake. I want you all to roll act under pressure to not fall to the floor, and tell me what you do.
Fucking earthquakes.
I get a 14.
Oh, I get a 19.
I get 4.
I rolled a 6.
So we can start with Francis. You're just shaking around on the bed there, and you're in control of yourself. But it's the bed is actually jumping on the floor. The building is moving.
Holy shit! With the milk in my hand, I'm gonna throw it at the crack. Ugh.
Oliver, you're also keeping your balance, but you fall into the wall next to the balcony, and the door just behind you on the wall flings open, and you see the balcony is shaking, and on the outside you see a hole has formed in the ground outside. Other buildings are falling down.
I try and just grab hold of anything I can just so I have something to hold on to, as I just go, what the fuck?
Dan and Vicky, you fall down. You're not hurt or anything, but you can't really see what's happening outside or around you. It's a really bad quake, or almost a minute.
Yeah, that's not good. I just squinted my eyes and just wait until it's over and hope that I'm still in the real world when it ends.
Suddenly everything is still again. You all hear screams from the outside. Some of the nearby buildings have collapsed and people are injured. The room is a mess. The computer and everything else have lost the power. This building is still standing, but it have moved, and it feels like it's swaying.
I guess we can't stay here after all.
Francis is getting up, wobbly, and...
I'll help Francis up. Grab whatever... Steph, Vicky, grab some water, maybe. We got to get out of here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Bring the milk.
As you come to the front door to the apartment, you notice right away that it's blocked.
I can't get the door open.
Yeah, maybe if we all push against it.
I kind of come over to help, but I seem to be clutching my side a little. I'm feeling really nauseous at the moment. This is all a bit much for my liver. Ugh.
Francis is just going to pound on the door, pushing against it.
It's a good thing that you said that, Oliver. You can roll 2 d10s for your disadvantage there. 15. Yeah, it's under control, but you feel it.
I actually probably do have some medication on me at all times, just for when this is happening. Yeah. So I do quickly. You see me just pop out a little bunch of pills from my pocket, just okay. Oh, fuck. Yeah, okay, there must be something blocking the door. Let's all try and, I don't know.
Yeah, if we get a few shoulders to it, does that budge it at all?
No, it doesn't.
How many floors up again were we?
3.
I start looking at the balcony and I say to everyone, I mean, we're trapped in here. Maybe we can get out by the balcony. I don't know. That might be even a worse idea.
Maybe they've got, maybe there's a fire escape. I'll go to the balcony and look to see if there's any sort of...
Why don't you just try to, like, tie ropes together or sheets and maybe we can climb out the balcony.
Dan, you go to the balcony and it's just a small balcony, and there is 2 more balconies just under it, so it doesn't look so hard actually, but well, it's 3 floors up, so it's asphalt below. And as you're looking down, you also see a big hole in the ground where other buildings have disappeared.
Yeah, all right, yeah, we're gonna have to try to climb down. Maybe we could, some sheets. I don't think Francis has got enough strength to do it on his own. So...
You're right.
I guess we're tying sheets together.
As you're doing that, another quake shakes the area, and the balcony comes loose on one end, and that end falls down, hitting the balcony under. You can actually glide down to the 2nd floor.
I would probably tie the sheets and stuff around Francis and try to sort of just take as much of his weight on that sheet and let him kind of climb down and support him from above. And then when he gets to the bottom and unties himself, then we can, those of us who are more physically capable, can start trying to climb down.
Hey, Oliver.
Yeah?
Do you have any neighbors down below?
I don't... There might be. Remember, this isn't my place. Fuck my place. My place... Oh, God. You can see I'm really panicking at all this. As far as I'm concerned, this is like a natural disaster occurring that I'm really worried about.
I think Oliver needs to roll Keep It Together, actually.
I agree.
Especially when you see the house that you live in is no longer there.
Oh, fuck. I immediately think not only of my own home, but also my neighbor. Lisa. Oh, God. 14.
You can choose one disposition there and tell me how you react.
I become scared. I'm scared for myself. I'm scared for everyone around me. This is a terrifying earthquake, and I don't know what to do. I'm just a student.
You can lower your stability by 1.
Yeah, I don't know. There might be people downstairs. Oh my fucking God. We need to get out of here, like, now, I guess.
No, we need to make sure that everyone else in the building gets out.
Francis, for God's sakes, that's not going to happen. You go down first. Come on, and then I'm going to make sure that Vicky can get down, and Oliver, I'll go down last.
You notice that the balcony door on this floor is open, and there seems to be no one home there.
Francis is just kind of leaning against the wall, like, "Hello? Is anyone there? Does anyone need our attention or help?"
No answer.
Just go through and see if the way is clear to exit the building.
All right.
This is also a very small apartment, and there's no one there. And the door out from the apartment is, you can open it, and the hallway out there seems pretty okay. It has seen better days, but you can make your way out.
Excellent. I was thinking we were going to have to climb all the way. Excellent. This is great. Francis, come on. We can get out this way. Come on. Vicky, Oliver, come on.
Yeah. I'm following, and kind of on the way, I'm like banging on every door, like, "Hello? Is anyone in there? Do you need help?"
And I just continue to pull Francis along with him, and every time he knocks on a door, I say, "Stop! There's no one here. Come on."
There has to be.
There is a few people who's out in the hallway with you and are running down the stairs as well, and a few are opening the doors when you knock at them, and they just say something that you don't understand, and they seem to be in panic, most of them, and everyone is running out.
I'm like, "Come down."
And you get down to the ground, and you move away a bit from the building. Everything is calm now, but there are injured people all around. You hear sirens in the distance, and you see ambulances that are closing in, and a few police cars.
I mean, I just stare at the moment back where my home was. Is that completely just demolished?
It's completely gone. And you see a large hole in the ground, and several other buildings have fallen into it and just disappeared. The hole is 500 meters across from where you stand.
And then I think, has somehow my car survived this?
It's still there.
Fucking hell, how's that even possible?
Oliver, are you alright?
No, I live over there! Oh, fuck!
Where? I don't see.
Where the hole is.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Oliver.
I just look at you, clearly very lost. This is all a bit much for me.
And Vicky, I want you to roll see through the illusion.
It's 11.
You see buildings further in, buildings that doesn't seem to be of this world. You have seen them before in Jersey City. Steel and iron towers, old ruins with geometric symbols all over them. They are pushing their way up next to the normal buildings, some even through them. You see a tall tower shooting up to the sky 200 meters high, and the ground starts to shake again. Another quake is starting. You all feel that. And Dan, I want you to roll observe a situation.
14.
You notice a woman. She's standing maybe 20 meters from you, looking straight at you. She's dressed in a black dress, a hat, and she smiles at you. It's the woman from the gas station, and you feel drawn to her. You want to go to her, to be with her. The name Sarah pops up in your mind, and you said it out loud. Then the ground starts to shake again, and she's suddenly gone.
Sarah? You said Sarah.
What?
Did you see her?
I thought I saw somebody over there.
You notice that the hole is getting bigger. It's going outward from you into the town. Buildings, cars, people, they fall down into this hole, a bottomless pit of darkness, screaming as they fall. It grows in front of you. Behind you, people are fleeing in panic. Oliver, you see your car some 20 meters behind you again. It's total chaos. A man picks up a brick and runs towards your car.
Hey! Fuck off! Guys, I think we need to get in the car and just go. We just need to go, like, in the opposite direction.
Yeah, grab Francis. Wait, what's that guy doing?
He stops when he hears Oliver. He looks at you and he runs away.
I start jumbling for my keys and I'm going to the car, regardless of who's following.
Come on, Francis. Here, put your arm around me.
Thanks. Sarah, if you're around, come with us, please.
Wait, where's Vicky?
Vicky wouldn't realize at first that, you're shouting and calling to Ryan because she would be entranced by what she's seeing. And she would be looking somewhere up into the sky, like, following the traces of these skyscrapers she sees. And she would be just standing there frozen, holding, because she didn't have a bag, but she was told to take some milk and water. So she has, one, this Tetra pack of milk under one of her, arm, and then one water bottle and another arm, and she's just standing there in this awe, but also in fright and just tearing up.
I would have pulled her along with us. Come on, and drug her gaping at the sky.
You have to flee. Everything around you is falling. The ground has opened up. There's still solid ground to the east, and the east road is still there, and you can follow it. It's the main road out of town. It's the only way to go, really. And as you're driving there, I want the driver to roll act under pressure.
But of course, that's a 7. As I am doing my best to focus on the road, but there's just so much screaming going on, other cars, and it's just terrifying.
You're heading out in high speed. People are dying around you. You hear the earth rumble and growl as everything behind you is swallowed. Your 7 means that you're hitting people. You are killing people.
Oliver! What have you done?
I don't know. We just gotta fucking go. And you just see me.
What are you doing? Oh my God! Stop the car!
And then there's another swerve. I feel as then just probably just as some of those people I just ran over, and they're probably gone, covered into the hole, just like ah!
Oh my God, Oliver! Oh my God!
It's all right, Francis. Just go.
To hell! It's all right. They're killing people.
I want you to describe how you flee, Oliver. Complete chaos around you. How do you get away?
I feel I finally managed to get us just on a side alley I know, which I barrel straight down, probably taking the rear mirror off as I just go past this old alleyway, crashing through some bins. And again, I tears are falling down my face as I'm trying to comprehend what's happened. But again, I just keep driving. I feel probably just as places we are falling into this abyss.
I wouldn't look around. I'm too scared to look around, so I would just cover my face with my palms, right? I would have my eyes like really, really tightly shut. And because it still is in my mind like such a clear image, when we were falling, I saw with my own eyes how the body of Francis crashed under me and Dan before, and right now Francis is with me, right? So I would just probably be sitting in the car and I would just be repeating to myself like hundreds of times, this is not happening, 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 not happening, this is not happening.
The car comes to a stop to the east outside the town. Everything had been swallowed up by the ground and is gone. Hundreds of people are gathered at the edge, looking down. It's strangely quiet now. I want you all to tell me how you feel, what goes through your minds. Let's start with Dan.
I somehow feel that I started this row of dominoes to fall. I was just doing the things that I do and have seen strange things in my time and never really thought a whole lot of it. And then just this one thing, and then suddenly everybody's world starts being torn apart. Literally, I've been upset that I've been dragging Vicky through this, and then we stumble across this poor Francis, and now he's caught in this whirlwind around me, and now another has been scooped up into the storm, and I'm not feeling too good right now.
And Vicky?
I think that there's not much to describe. I just feel like I am in a nightmare. Stuck. I'm trying to run and I run in one spot. And I can't run away from that horrifying light behind my back, which is like so dangerously coming to me.
And Francis?
Francis has his head leaning against the window, probably still caked in the blood from earlier. Tears are kind of coming down his face as he's kind of looking back at the dead and feeling guilty, and he's just kind of whispering to himself, like, please, God, let this not be in vain.
And Oliver?
Well, I'm just weeping into the steering wheel, overcome with grief, believing that I've just escaped death. I have no idea what's going on. I'm almost not even thinking about Daniel anymore and the disappearance. I'm thinking about a freak earthquake just occurred, and on a colossal scale, and then I didn't mean to run anyone over. I didn't have time to stop, though. Maybe I should have stopped. I don't know. And yeah, I'm just weeping into the steering wheel.
Mirtajärvi is at least 2 hours drive from Kiruna. Are you gonna go there, or what are your plans now?
I have to go.
And we go.
What?
I don't think we have to go anywhere right this moment. We can, Oliver, is like the whole town fell in?
Yeah.
We got to get going. There's nothing here.
What were you hoping to find anyway?
I don't know. You're going to say this is ridiculous, Oliver, and I don't blame you. But see, all of this is connected.
What?
I gotta go find out what's going on. If you don't want to take us, I understand. This is where you lived, but I mean, what are you going to do? Sit here and wait for the Swedish army to show up? I don't even know how they handle this kind of thing around here.
Well, it's not fucking common, is it? I don't know. I need a minute. And I'm trying to dry my face. I'm looking towards Vicky, and then I look at Francis at the back and say, like, is your friend even okay after all that? He might have opened the wound again or something.
Check on Francis.
He's not okay, but the wound hasn't opened.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just keep going. It's wherever this road is leading us.
You know what?
I'm in God's hands now.
I think I just start driving. Whether or not I am driving to the place, but I don't say it. I just start driving.
Is there like a drive-through or something, like McDonald's or Burger King or something we could just on the way?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. That's just Francis. We got milk, Francis. Just go to sleep.
When was the last time we've eaten?
Yesterday at the barbecue.
I'm hungry.
Look, there'll be a place it's a small village, but there'll be a convenience store or something. Let's just get there. I'll get you there, and I need to make a phone call. Vicky, you okay?
Why wouldn't it be okay?
Oh, she's not okay. Did you hear? No.
This is not real. You don't have to bother about the food or about the calls or about anything. This is just a dream.
Fuck.
It's just my dream or Dan's dream. Probably Dan's. But that would make me not real.
I look very sympathetic, but I also give Dan a look, like the kind of look like, oh dear, is she having some sort of breakdown kind of look.
This is perfectly reasonable to him. I was just questioning the reality of it myself not too long ago, so it's not even fazing me, really, that she's saying that. So I'm just kind of staring at the road blankly.
There's not a lot of traffic, and the drive gives some of you a chance to rest a bit. There's mostly nature around you on this journey. You follow the E10 highway for almost an hour. Then you go up north on the E45. There's a few smaller towns and villages on your way, but they are far from each other. After another hour, you will come to Mirtajärvi, a small village with less than 100 inhabitants. As you come out to the west of the village, you see a small farm up ahead, close to the forest's edge. The main building is on fire. Flames shoot out from the broken windows on both floors. As you pull up near it, you all see a man run into the main door to the house. Dan, you recognize him straight away. He looks just like your father, but as a younger version. Oliver, you see your friend Daniel. He quickly looks towards the car, then he's inside the house. You lose track of him. What do you do?
It's Daniel! I stopped the car and I start trying to get out.
Francis is tired of being in the car and kind of just slips out, like, oh, God.
I'm gonna run up to where he ran into the building.
You only see flames through the windows and the doorway. From the inside, from the flames, you hear Daniel's voice screaming, "Stay away! Don't come in! I have to stop him!"
What?
Other people are pulling up and stops out by the road. You see some of them talking on their phones, upset. The flames are getting higher and higher. Daniel is nowhere to be seen. And I want you all to roll see through the illusion. Everything around you fades. The house is still there, and you see each other. The sun is gone. The sky is black. And the only light comes from the flames. The ground, now mushy mud and stones. A smell of iron and sulfur in the air. The darkness only lets you see the area around the house, maybe 20 meters around. Nothing more. The outside is pitch black. Daniel is thrown out from the doorway. At least you think it's him. He's burned badly. His clothes are all gone, and his flesh is a burned mess. He's still alive. Nej, jag måste, det är för sent. A creature walks out the door, not affected by the fire. A black open robe, large bulging muscles, 2 heads taller than a large man, an iron spear in his hand, pointed towards Daniel. Then he looks at you. As the spear penetrates Daniel's skull and he's dead. Black eyes, dark gray skin, fangs, and black claws. "So this is the one," he says, looking at Dan. "Your father is dead." Then he rushes forward. What do you do?
I think I'm scared, and I'm not reacting. I'm frozen. I'm trying to put all this together, and that's just kind of Dan's MO. He just kind of freezes up for a minute and processes. And I suppose I'm hoping deep inside that Francis knocks me out of the way before whatever this is rips my head off.
Now I'm angry because my friend has just died, and I have no idea what the fuck I'm looking at. But I think based on that reaction, I'm going to start running back to the car.
You can lower your stability by 1. Francis, you can also choose a disposition and tell me what you do.
Yeah, I mean, I see God's enemy before me and coming after the only one who's kind of watched out for me. I mean, Vicky left me to the whims of the doctor, and Francis is just going to run towards Dan in an effort to get him out of the way, kind of clutching his stomach as he does. Like, oh.
Vicky, you completely break down. You fall down to your knees, and you can lower your stability by -2. And tell me what you do.
I go down to my knees. The only thing I can process and do, and it's just like a sort of reflex. I just wrap my fingers around my pendant, and I press it very tightly in my palm, and I just stare in front of me, but almost as if I see nothing, you know? This is like this blank stare, and I don't move.
Vicky grabs her pendant, and an explosion of light, and then everything is black. Dan, you wake up. You are inside a house. You think it's night. The smell of fire and flames is heavy in the air. You are dirty with soot, and the smell from after the fire is sickening. You seem to be in a kitchen. Vicky lies next to you, unconscious, dirty. There's no sign of Francis or Oliver. On the wall you see a text in the soot. It's your own writing, and it says, "This is my hell. I'm sorry."
Thank you so much, Craig Austin from Red Moon Roleplaying, for joining us as Oliver. You can find everything they do over at Red Moon Roleplaying if you go to redmoonroleplaying.com. I do. Thanks, Craig.
Thank you for listening to The Experiment, a Cult Divinity Lost actual play podcast from TTRP Theater, featuring Peter Samulesson, Minta Krikomi, Mitchell Wallace, and myself, Curtis Wilkins. The game Cult Divinity Lost is produced by Helmgast. Music used in this episode is thanks to Coag and Incompetech. Find all of our productions at ttrptheater.com. If you enjoyed this podcast or any of our other productions, consider supporting TTRP Theater by visiting our Patreon page today. Exclusive benefits start for as little as $1. Thanks again from Peter, Minta, Mitchell, myself, and all of us here at TTRP Theater.